right, guys, so let's talk about our beginner footwork, just the start of being able to understand footwork as a beginner, okay? The analogy that I like to use is when you're being a beginner in fighting, the technical piece is really, really important. Like understanding how to do things correctly in your body and in accordance to your partner is really important in understanding, okay? It's a lot more important than the conceptual piece of fighting because like the analogy that I'll use is if I'm going to be a soldier, like have a gun, go and kill people, I need to be able to know how to shoot that gun when I'm moving, when I'm stationary. I need to know how to shoot a different type of couple of guns. I don't necessarily need to know like all of the formations or how to go into a room and clear the room. That's more of a concept and a strategy and things like that, which comes later. First, you need to know how to shoot the actual gun. So all of this beginner course is just going to be technical pieces of how to be able to move your feet correctly. And like I said, they're not super complex things. They're pretty simple things, but when you stack them on top of each other, make them really dynamic, do them in all the right situations and have perfect timing when you do all of them, that's what makes super awesome fighting. So let's get into a little bit of our beginner footworks. The first one that I like to do with people is I like to have them stand in a stance, whatever's natural to you as long as it's not dumb, okay? I'm just kidding, but as long as it's not too wonky. Like don't stand like this, okay? No one in all of martial arts history has never fought someone like this, okay? Also, don't stand super weird and square like this. Do more or less of a hybrid stance. I found that that's just a better way to have 360 degrees available to you. So we're in a hybrid stance, we're in our stance, and I want us rocking our weight, okay? I used to do this where I would have people jump, but I don't like the jump as much because it creates bad habits. The more, like I was talking about in the biomechanics piece, the more you're hopping up in the air, the more you're unattaching yourself to the floor, which like I said, is just gonna make you a little bit slower. I want you rocking in your weight here like this, okay? Not super big, not like Tyson. Everyone likes to, again, talk about how Tyson moves and like this, and it's like, dude, 99% chance you're not built like Mike Tyson. Maybe don't try to move like Mike Tyson, okay? I know it's like fun or whatever, but this doesn't work for me because I'm not, Mike Tyson build guy, all right? I'm skinny, pale, Cory build guy. So I rock in my stance. I'm here like this, and all we're gonna work on is just learning how to carve into the floor and throw punches, okay? I'm rocking. When I rock onto this side, my power is here. If I try to drive off with my back foot where there isn't a lot of weight, I'm not gonna have a lot of success. I can do it, but it's inefficient. When I'm on my front leg and I have a lot of weight into that leg, that's where my power is. So we're gonna shove ourselves to our right, boom, glue, and then throw our cross hook, okay? I'm rocking in my stance. I get heavy here, rotate, I get a little bit heavier here, as if I was doing like a juke move in basketball or sports of some sort. I push off again, throw my cross hook. And all the time, I'm throwing my punch and stopping myself. Throwing my punch and stopping myself as we do this entire drill, okay? So again, to our right side. I shove, I stop, I shove, and I throw my two punches, and then I want us pushing ourselves back into the middle. It'll make more sense as I do it a little bit quicker. But if I'm going to the right, rocking, push off, cross hook, push off again, and I'm back into the middle. If I go right again, boom, 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 push back, and I'm in the middle. I always like to, whenever I teach any type of footwork, anything, pretend that there's a ceiling above your head and you're not hitting your ceiling. So when I'm in my good, powerful, athletic stance and I do anything, I don't want my head hitting the ceiling there. I pretend that it's right there on the ceiling and I keep it there whenever I'm doing any type of this footwork steps that we're gonna do, okay? So rocking in my stance, boom, 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 push, 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 push. Everything is a push. That's how you get power, is through your legs. Everything's a push. I say shove sometimes too. Shove your weight into the floor. I just use those interchangeably. But I'm pushing myself to do things, okay? That's to the right. Now when we go to the left, I load myself here. I push off. I trail my foot. I'm really loaded here. Punch, punch, push myself back into the middle. Again to the left. Push, 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 back into the middle here. Push, 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 back into the middle here. When I go forward, same idea. My weight is here. I shove myself in, throw my 1, throw my 2, push myself back. Shove, shove, push myself back. The floor's a little slippery here. I shove, boom, boom, push myself back. When I go backwards, I use this leg. Shove, 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 push myself back to where I was. And you can just do this, you know, on your own, as slow as you want. Right, left only, forward, back only. All 4 of them if you want. If you wanted just a drill to do it at home, I like going right, left, forward, back. So I'm rocking, boom, push, push, back, boom, push, push, here, boom, push, push, here, boom, push, push, here, back to rocking. I can go right again, boom, 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 forward, bang, bang, back, boom, 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 forward. Okay, so that's our first one. That one just demonstrates how you use your legs to carve into the floor. And then the punching piece isn't as important. Like even if you wanted to just scrap the punches and just go here, that's cool too. Whatever it is that you want to do, boom, boom. But it's just teaching you that power and carving into the floor is really important, and that's how you do it. So our next footwork drill isn't going to be in terms of like these kind of, I think that they look aesthetically really mechanical. So there is like the footwork drill that's out there where you step with each punch. Like if you've been to any kickboxing gym in the entire world, that's probably what they taught you. That to me is really mechanical, and that's okay. That's essentially what we were just doing when we were doing the in stance movement, okay? But there's also the footwork of gallops to close and open space too, okay? So our gallop, same idea. I keep this thing so that there's a ceiling right above my head. When I gallop, I don't let my head hit the ceiling. I'm in my stance. I take a little gallop forward with my right leg, push, and then land in my left leg. So if I do it really high and exaggerated, it looks like this. Forward and backwards, okay? Obviously, like I said before, the more you unconnect your feet from the floor, the slower and less reactive you're gonna become. So when I do this, I wanna keep myself low on the floor, forward and backwards, okay? I'm sure you guys have seen this plenty of times if you watch kickboxing fights. Someone throws a combination, boom, the person backs up, tiny gallops to close space a little bit easier than I land a combination, the person backs up, and I mechanically push myself forward like a weirdo, okay? Doesn't need to be like that. I throw, boom, tiny gallop, or I throw, I need to clear some space a little bit quicker than these tiny weird steps, and I need to gallop, but just being here, okay? It's a forward and backwards thing, just forward, just backwards, and we're just practicing our gallops, okay? Okay, so far we have our in stance rocking, we have our gallops. Now let's add in a couple of punches to our jab, jab, cross, which is really important to know how to do forward, okay? Here is where I like the mechanical steps, okay? With our gallops, while it's not super, like don't let it like ruin the technique for you, but when I am doing this, sometimes I can get a little bit too zealous and overload myself and close too much space too quickly. That's not good, okay? If I'm chasing someone with big gallops and they plant and I'm up in the air like this, I have to ground myself before I can punch, and I have to like say a prayer that this person isn't gonna punch me until I ground myself and can throw my own punches, okay? But when we're moving forward with a jab, jab, cross, I like to use those mechanical steps. So when I jab and step with my front foot, okay? Not too wide, not like this because you're gonna lose drive off of your back leg. It's just tiny. Boom, my back leg trails and it loads again so I can throw my jab again. Boom. On this second step, we're gonna bring our cross, okay? So when I jab, jab forward, tiny jab in, I don't let my head hit that ceiling that I'm imagining in my head. My right foot comes, I jab again, and then as this foot steps, I throw my cross, okay? So I'm here, jab, jab, cross. Moving, jab, jab, cross. Maybe I gallop back, jab, jab, cross. And again, the reason that that's better is because you have more of a stopper, because you're never uprooting yourself to the floor as much when I'm using these really tiny mechanical steps on my jab, jab, cross, okay? Don't stress too much about whether you're bringing your hand all the way back to your face. I know that that's like a super beginner question, but I know that a lot of you guys watching are really beginners. When you're jab, jabbing, as long as you're staying real protected here like this, it doesn't need to be, okay? It can stay like a half bring back as long as my shoulder's good, so that if the opponent does throw a punch, I just move it this much. I don't really wanna like that long, okay, unless you have that much space, but I don't wanna get too nuanced in the beginner piece because it'll just get too confusing. When you're throwing your jab, jab, cross, it's cool if it just comes back halfway. Jab, and then as this back foot trails back in, we throw our cross, we maintain position the whole time. All right, guys, if you guys liked the video, make sure that you guys like and subscribe. If you guys want the full course, it's at CorySandhagenMMA.com. All kinds of courses on there to do with striking, MMA, mental performance. Now we have footwork. I hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe, comment. I love you. Peace.